What if the real reason you feel restless isn't because you're behind, but because you're terrified of being average? Not poor, not unsuccessful, not unknown, just ordinary. In a world where everyone is trying to go viral, build a brand, escape the 9 to 5, and be different, there's a silent anxiety creeping into our generation. It has a name: koinophobia, the fear of living an ordinary life. And today, we're going to break it down, not just psychologically, but practically. Because by the end of this video, you might discover something uncomfortable. The thing you're running from might be the very thing that sets you free. Have you ever felt anxious, not because you're failing, but because you're blending in? Koinophobia isn't officially listed in psychology textbooks, but its symptoms are everywhere. It's the anxiety that whispers, "What if I never stand out? What if my life looks like everyone else's? What if I'm just normal?" In the age of curated Instagram feeds, LinkedIn milestones, and YouTube success stories, average feels like failure. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn constantly show us highlight reels. But here's the trap. When extraordinary becomes common on your screen, ordinary starts to feel unacceptable. And that creates pressure. Pressure to monetize your hobbies, turn passion into profit, escape stability in the name of purpose. But what if this pressure isn't ambition? What if it's fear? And here's the cliffhanger. If the fear of being ordinary drives you, what is it secretly costing you? When did simple become something to be ashamed of? There was a time when stability was success, a peaceful life, a small circle, a steady career. But somewhere along the way, hustle culture rebranded normalcy as mediocrity. We started idolizing billionaires, creators, and disruptors. Names like Elon Musk and Mr. Beast became benchmarks. Now, subconsciously, we measure ourselves against the extreme top 0.001%. But here's the psychological twist. Your brain doesn't want to be extraordinary. It wants safety, belonging, meaning. Yet, koinophobia convinces you that if you're not exceptional, you're invisible. And invisibility feels like insignificance. But what if the obsession with standing out is actually making you lose yourself? Because in Act 2, we're going to uncover something uncomfortable. Sometimes the chase to be extraordinary makes you painfully average. Are you building your life or performing it? When koinophobia takes over, life becomes content. Every move must be impressive. Every goal must sound ambitious. Every announcement must look bold. You start choosing paths based on what will people think instead of what do I actually want? And here's the irony. The more you try to be unique for validation, the more you copy what's trending. Same morning routines, same grind mindset, same aesthetic productivity. Originality turns into imitation. And eventually, exhaustion sets in. Because performing a life is far more draining than living one. But here's the deeper danger. When your identity depends on standing out, failure feels fatal. So what happens when you don't blow up? When you don't go viral? When your life turns out normal? That's where the real battle begins. A life lived for applause is a life owned by the audience. How often do you scroll and suddenly feel behind? Koinophobia feeds on comparison. You see someone younger earning more, someone else traveling, another person building a startup, and your steady progress suddenly feels slow. But here's the psychological truth. Social media compresses timelines. You see someone's 10-year journey in 30 seconds. Your mind compares your daily struggle to someone else's highlight milestone. That distortion creates urgency, and urgency creates anxiety. But here's the cliffhanger. What if being ordinary isn't the enemy? What if it's the foundation for something deeper? Because in the final act, we're flipping the narrative. What would change if you stopped fearing a simple life? To escape koinophobia, define success privately. Limit comparison triggers. Build quietly. Let results speak later. Not everything needs to be announced. Not every dream needs an audience. Because the loudest lives aren't always the most fulfilled. And maybe the fear of being ordinary was never about status. Maybe it was about self-worth. And that's a different battle entirely. If this video made you rethink the pressure to be extraordinary, then don't forget to subscribe. And remember, you don't need to escape ordinary to become powerful. You just need to own it.